comes first. You're watching WECT News.
An organization that's all about helping sex trafficking victims is celebrating a big win today.
The group is called A Safe Place, and they launched a new residential program to help women get back on their feet. WECT's Mackenzie Bruns talked with the founder and CEO of that organization. How is this going to make a difference, Mackenzie?
Well, John, it's the organization's first long-term residential program. Leaders say they noticed many women needed more than just a few months to heal, especially those struggling with substance abuse disorders. A new chapter begins with the snip of a ribbon. County leaders and neighbors gathered at the farm. A new program from A Safe Place, where founder and CEO MaLisa Umstead says survivors of sex trafficking can stay for up to 2 years and finally find safety.
Our 2 years are intentional. We will let them rest. We will let them have a sense of refuge here.
The 11-acre property has 3 cottages. One has 8 bedrooms for individual women, another is for pregnant women and families impacted by exploitation, and the third is where they'll meet with caseworkers and build new skills. But there's a reason this program is here in New Hanover County.
Sex trafficking is a supply and a demand issue, and here in Wilmington, we have a great demand.
Wilmington is a tourist destination and a transit city. County leaders say that combination creates a problem that often goes unnoticed.
I'm just conflicted with the idea that, this is in our community. So it's an acknowledgement. We get it, it's here. Now we need to work even harder to try and solve this problem.
And the solution starts here with each bed, each bathroom, and even each chicken. Residents will work the farm, doing tasks like harvesting fresh eggs to earn money and build independence. Umstead says trafficking is a mix of sexual assault, domestic violence, and homelessness. And their long-term program addresses more needs that their emergency shelter couldn't.
Being able to provide them a safe place to stay, it's life-changing.
Umstead says they are still waiting to finalize some paperwork, but hope to start taking in residents in early March. Mackenzie Bruns, WECT News.